Hey guys, welcome back to my video of weekend prep. This is part 2 of the original that I will link below. I hope you enjoy these recipes. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and let's get started. Okay, so the first meal that I want to prep is just a simple chicken recipe. I really just wanted to season this up, cut it up, and have it ready to grill or to bake, whatever I wanted to do with it. So I did just do some light seasonings, probably salt, pepper, maybe garlic powder. And I ended up putting some Dale's steak seasoning on it. It said you could use it for any meat. I had chicken listed. I was not at all pleased with how this turned out, and maybe it's because I left it in the refrigerator for too long. It was like in there 3 days before I decided to cook it, but it completely changed the texture of the meat to like almost like steak-like, and it just wasn't very good. It didn't look appetizing, it didn't taste appetizing, so I would not recommend doing that. Maybe if you just season it the day of with the Dale seasoning, or use something else, a different marinade entirely, or just, you know, put dry rub seasonings. But here's a photo so you kind of see what it looked like after I cooked it. So the next dish that I'm going to prep is actually a side dish that was to go with the chicken. It's a pasta salad. And with this one, I just started with slicing the tomatoes. I then diced up a little bit of red onion. The recipe did not call for this, but I love red onion in any kind of pasta salad. So I put just a little in for some extra flavor, and then I quartered up some of this hard salami, and I wished I would have cut it a little smaller. The pieces were a little bit big, but other than that, it tasted really good. Next, I added in some feta cheese, and I believe this original recipe called for mozzarella, but to me, again, feta just goes with anything Mediterranean, you know, pasta salad. I love that salty flavor of feta, but you can use any kind of cheese you want, or omit the cheese if you don't want it. I then chopped up a green pepper for some extra crunch, and I believe I threw in some whole Kalamata olives into this as well. Again, I don't think the recipe called for that, but I just wanted to have them in there. And while I've been chopping up all my veggies and meat, I had my pasta cooking, so I just drained that out. And then I added in some parsley seasoning, Italian seasoning, and then my Italian dressing and some Parmesan cheese, and mixed that all together. And I have to tell you guys, this pasta salad turned out absolutely delicious. Really, it could be a meal in and of itself, which worked out really well because, as I said, I was going to pair it with the chicken, and I didn't end up eating the chicken. I just ate this pasta salad, and it was very filling, very good. I think my husband sampled it, and even he liked it, and he's pretty picky, so this one was a definite winner. Okay, so one of the meals that I was going to make this week were fish tacos, so I am prepping a mango salsa to go on top. And of course, you see me just chopping up some different colored bell peppers, and I'm going to add in a jalapeno pepper for a little heat. Of course, you can take out the middle part. The seeds and the veins of the pepper, of course, is where the most heat resides, so I took the majority of that out, and it was still very spicy. Next, I'm adding in some lime juice and some cilantro. And finally, I am cutting up and adding in my mango. This meal turned out so good. I think I ended up prepping the cabbage. It was just red cabbage I sliced up, and then of course you just have your cabbage and mango salsa on top of the fish. And I did also make actually another sauce to go on top of the fish. I believe that's the one that I'm going to show you next. And for this last component for the fish tacos, I'm just adding sour cream. I believe I chop up some cilantro, add a little bit of lime juice, salt and pepper. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else that I put into here. I want to say, I don't think that I added a jalapeno to this, but you certainly could. That would be really good if you just wanted an extra little kick. Oh, honey was the other thing that I added. And again, all of these recipes will be linked down below. Definitely try them out. These ones that I brought off of Pinterest this time were so good. So of course, and then the fish itself I prepared the night of, which was really quick to make, and then just toasted up the tortillas, and then you just layer it with your cabbage mango salsa and this sour cream sauce, and you guys, it was delicious. And for one of the final dinner meal preps that I made this time, showing you the ingredients, I made some homemade beef enchiladas. This recipe, honestly, a lot of the recipes were really good this time, but I think this one really took the cake. My husband and I both went nuts over this recipe. So I'm just going to start by chopping up a whole onion, and then I'm going to add a little bit of oil to a pan and get my onion going in there. And to that mixture I will add, I believe it was ground beef and Italian sausage. Maybe it was just ground beef. Yes, it was just ground beef. I apologize. This isn't an Italian meal. So just kind of get that going, you know, get your onions soft, brown your meat, and at this point I'm going to start adding my seasonings. I know, of course, there was chili powder, probably cumin, salt and pepper, things of that nature. Now this part of the recipe I thought was interesting. I wasn't even really paying attention. When I first pulled this recipe, I thought it would have like an enchilada sauce, like, you know, the red or the green, or maybe one that you would even buy. But this enchilada sauce you make from scratch. And I was curious. I thought, is this really going to turn out well? So you just start by making a roux, of course, with your butter and flour as your thickening agent to get going. And again, it's almost kind of like a gravy consistency, which again had me scared because I thought, oh my gosh, gravy over enchiladas, yuck. But stick with me here. I promise if you guys do this, you're going to absolutely love it. To the skillet, I'm just adding in my beef stock, and I'm just going to keep stirring that around, letting that go until it comes to a boil, and then just kind of bring it down to a simmer, let it get nice and thick. And at this point, this is where you're adding in all your seasonings. So this isn't going to taste like your normal beef gravy. You're going to add in your chili powder, your cumin, salt and pepper. And again, please refer down to the recipe for everything that I added in here because I don't quite remember. And you can see at this point it's starting to thicken up nicely. So now that the gravy is about finished, I'm going to go back to my meat mixture, which I put into a bowl, and add in some I believe that was shredded Monterey Jack or pepper jack, I can't remember, and then Colby Jack cheese. Mix that all in with the meat mixture. Now you're going to put a little bit of your enchilada sauce on the very bottom of your dish, and I'm using a 13 by 9. And then I just kind of eyeballed it as far as how much filling I put into each tortilla. And before you start rolling these, you want to soften those tortillas up first. I think I did wrap them in a paper towel, a wet paper towel, and I put them in the microwave for maybe a minute, maybe not quite that long, but you want to get those softened up. You can see they did, a couple of them did kind of break on me anyways. I could have probably softened them up a little bit better. Once you get all of your meat mixture rolled up in the tortilla, of course, just pour the remaining enchilada sauce on top, and I like to kind of spread it around so that everything is equally covered. And then you're going to put your remaining jack cheeses on top, and then bake this off for the appropriate amount of time. And I just showed you a quick look at the dinner plate when it was all done. It was delicious. We served it up with Spanish rice and then just some pico de gallo on the side. It was so good. I can't overemphasize how good it was. And then the last thing that I'm preparing, my kids are obsessed with spaghetti. Like, my son wants to eat it every single night. So this is me just preparing spaghetti. This is nothing special, but the zucchini that I had gotten, if you watched my previous food prep recipe from this weekend, or food prepping, you know, I showed you I washed all my veggies and I said I had all that zucchini. That's what I'm putting zucchini into this spaghetti, trying to get my kids some extra vegetables because they do not get enough vegetables in. So I think next time I would probably puree it up so that you wouldn't even see those little chunks, because my son kept commenting, what are these little green trees? But he couldn't taste it, and he did eat it. So that is everything that I prepped for the entire weekend. If you refer back to the original food prep video that I made, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.